please be sure to send us your requests at booshakalakapodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter X, BOOshakalakapod. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at BOOshakalakapodcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Booshakalaka Podcast. I'm your host Tiffany, joined by my co-host Pierre.
Marriage. More good women have been lost to marriage than war, famine, disease, and disaster. You have talent, darling. Don't squander it.
Harry Potter.
God damn you. Just because it was British. Yeah, that was 101 Dalmatians. Women's History Month. I'm giving you Women's History Month quotes.
I've literally only seen the animation.
You never saw the live action with Glenn Close?
What's the one with Emma Stone?
Cruella. That was good.
Did you watch that?
Yeah.
That was good too? Okay, cool. We're not here to talk about Cruella. We're here to talk about Clarice, bitch. Clarice Starling with the worst accent I ever heard in my life. I hated this accent. I tried to look it up, and it says she's supposed to be from West Virginia, and then I saw a bunch of Reddit posts, and people said we don't talk like that in West Virginia, so I don't know who she's supposed to be. But
is West Virginia considered the South?
I think it's below the Mason-Dixon line, but it's not our South.
Okay, because I'm like, when he called her a rube, and I was like, that's a Southern insult. So I was just like, okay, but
not our South.
Okay.
But Clarice is a part of this Oscar Award movie that I think this might be the only Oscar Award winning film we have reviewed on this podcast.
Well, actually, this is the first and only horror movie to win an Oscar.
I don't think this is a horror movie.
It's considered a psychological horror movie. But it's not no slasher has won an Oscar. But
I just think it's a thriller.
You know, this is
and I'm sticking with it.
So yeah, we do have an Oscar on our.
Yes, the synopsis for The Silence of the Lambs is FBI trainee Clarice Starling is pulled from her training at the FBI Academy at Quantico, Virginia by Jack Crawford of the Bureau's Behavioral Science Unit. He assigns her to interview Hannibal Lecter, a former psychiatrist and incarcerated cannibalistic serial killer whose insight might prove useful in the pursuit of a serial killer named Buffalo Bill, who skins his female victims' corpses. Hey, we just told you the whole movie.
Damn, I was like, is she gonna stop? Okay,
stop Rockefeller Records. We get down.
They had to know that their movie was gonna be good. I mean, this is a classic, not only to us, but to the world. This is considered one of the greatest films in the world. Do you feel intimidated?
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it.
It got, because it got Best Picture. I was just like, wow, it was very
Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress.
Yeah. So
now, Anthony Hopkins, yes. Clarice.
Yes.
And it's not saying that she was bad.
It's just she didn't really give me there was no, you know how there's always that scene. I feel like she didn't have that scene.
Yes. That Leonardo DiCaprio break the glass scene.
Come on.
Leonardo
DiCaprio Lamborghini scene.
That Oprah, you told Harpo to beat me. You know, you in danger, girl, Molly. You know, I ain't get that. You're right.
But it was just good.
Clarice, a very smart field agent, soon to be field agent working for the FBI. We see her training at Quantico, Virginia. I've driven past Quantico a many a times. There's nothing else there but the FBI Academy. And she is doing her thing, and she gets stopped by someone who tells her, hey, Big Boss Man want to see you. Nizow. So she goes to Big Boss Man's office, and he tells her, hey, we are doing a psychological study on a bunch of serial killers, and we want you to interview Hannibal Lecter. Mm-hmm. Clarice knows who he is, and she's not going to say no because she wants to become an FBI agent. So she says, all right, I'm down. Put me on the first thing smoking, bitch. She gets on the first thing smoking. We get over to Hannibal. She did get a warning from her supervisor. Be careful. You don't want Hannibal to get in your mind because he is a psychotherapist. So he knows everything he needs to say to get you where you need to be. Because I'd probably be butter around his ass. Butter, top of a piece of biscuit and a toast, and he would eat me alive. Because I cannot.
He's such an interesting character because it's like, for us, like, I mean, I guess therapists don't have to. They have to have some sort of tact, but he just like maybe he was vulgar because I feel like the first conversation he had with her was just like insulting, and like it was very
Yeah, he
interesting.
did kind of insult her.
He definitely calls her poor white trash.
As soon as she gets into the incarcerated area, she has to walk past other guys who I feel like he would be on the block by himself. Mm-hmm. He would not be. It just didn't really make sense to me. One guy says he can smell her cunt from there, and oh my god, he needs to be on the K9 unit, bitch. Because if he can smell somebody walking past him after a fresh shower, something's going on.
To be fair,
it made me think of that stupid ass movie, that Tyler Perry movie that came out. I can smell your nappy pussy. I hated that.
I didn't even think about that.
It made me think of that.
To be fair, Hannibal could smell the lotion that she used, even though she didn't wear it. That it was, yeah.
What's so crazy is he would have been pissed. I feel like if Clarice was a black woman, he wouldn't have known anything. I mean, he read her down. If it was somebody not like him, he wouldn't have been able to read them down. I just don't feel like it. And this is the problem that I always see with like psychiatrists, people in behavioral units, this type of job. They're like, they always want to figure out why somebody is evil. Why do they do what they do? Bitch, because they fucking want to. 9 times out of 10, it's because they want to. Hannibal is a smart ass person. He wants to do this.
He doesn't need to do it.
It gives him pleasure. No, he can do whatever he wants. He can make a slug eat salt, like an Eskimo eat ice. That's the type of smart he is. He just does this because he wants to. Like, you're not gonna get into his head. But anyway, I feel like he should be in the shoe. 23 and 1. Period. Like he should only be able to talk to people via.
Yes.
Solitary.
Yes. Yeah, we find out. Yeah, you're not wrong because we find out later in this movie exactly why he should be.
Well, bitch, they put that part made me.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there in like 5 minutes because that's how fast this movie goes. But he brings
up he does bring up Buffalo Bill to her with Clarice not even talking about it, but it is the big news in town. Buffalo Bill has skinned 5 women alive. Well, I don't know if they were alive, but he has skinned 5 women, and he is like the biggest serial killer. Everybody is on the hunt for him. The FBI is looking for him, but they didn't send her there to talk about Buffalo Bill. Oh, he tells her, Hannibal Lecter tells her she got a big bag and cheap shoes.
Yes.
She's a student.
It doesn't matter. He literally like she's what he said she was 1 generation from poor white trash. And then but he also makes mention of someone. Moffat. Yes.
He says he'll help her. He will not let her know about him. He will not let her into his psyche, but he will help her with her advancement. And he gives her the name Moffat. And he refuses to take her behavioral test. He gives her the name Moffat. We see a quick flashback of her with her dad. And I'm like, okay, is he dead? I don't know. Like, we see her run up to her dad. He pulls up in the driveway. She gives him a hug. And that's the end of the flashback. I didn't like that. I hate a flashback, bitch. I hate a flashback.
Especially when they're broken up the way they are in this movie.
God, like, I'm like, who are these people? I didn't even know that was supposed to be her. I was so confused. I don't know. Yeah.
But as she's leaving, one of the inmates.
This is your favorite part.
Not my favorite part. One of the inmates, it seemed he seemed like to be having an episode. I think he was trying to say that he had cut himself. I don't know why she was walking slow watching him anyway, though. But he throws his ejaculation in her face. And that's when I didn't want to be so graphic. That's when Hannibal sort of there's some sort of respect that he does have despite him being a serial killer. And he's like, I'm sorry that you went through that. And that's when he decides to help her out even more. But she goes, I don't know how they be just going. I mean, well, I guess when you work for the FBI, they can just give you tickets to go anywhere. But she goes to investigate this Moffat guy and where he may possibly be. They run a cross check basically because of Hannibal encodes a lot when he's talking. So she basically had to decode what he said, and she realized, oh, well, this is a storage facility in the place where he used to work. This was creepy too, because why at night? Like,
and why by yourself?
Yeah, because she's talking about, oh, if the door closed, call these people. Girl, if the door closed, no, you better get a.
You dead.
Yeah, but she finds
and it was a storage unit that has been paid in full for 10 years. Like, don't you find that suspicious?
Don't you? Who said that? You said that before.
Dr. Umar.
Don't you find suspicious? But she finds a severed head of no, it's not Moffat. Yeah. Yes, no, his name isn't Moffat. It's like Benjamin or something. But she finds a severed head of this guy who is dressed as a woman in a jar, and she's like, "Oh, what the hell?" Now she gets a call, and she's like, "Hey, by the way, that inmate that threw that semen on you, he's dead. He swallowed his own tongue, and people heard him talking to Hannibal all night." So that was he likes her, basically. That was his way of taking up for her, which how the fuck he got someone to swallow their own tongue, I don't even want to get into, because
the hoodoo.
I'm like, how? Like, what do you have to say to somebody for them to just, anywho. So she goes back.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And she's like, hey, MFer, I found the severed head. Who is he?
Motherfucker.
And so that's when he goes into the Buffalo Bill thing, and he really like leans into it. And he doesn't know him particularly, but he knows the guy who died. He was one of his patients, and he used to date Buffalo Bill. So the story is getting rounded out. Segue, we get American Girl. This story is so stupid. So this girl drives to her apartment complex, and she sees a guy pushing. He is carrying a chair into his van. So as a good Samaritan, at night, she decides to go over and be like, hey, can I help you with that?
Never.
First of all, well, he has a cast on, so I guess that was her empathy.
Not in your wildest dreams.
He's a grown-ass man. He was carrying it this whole time. If you weren't there, how was he going to get it in his van? Sometimes, and with women, I understand. Like, I understand where she was coming from. Unfortunately, because of patriarchy, women don't have this luxury. The same way y'all can't go for a run with your headphones in at night. It's just certain things that women can't do. Because she helps him get it in. And mind you, she don't get in the front of the chair. She gets behind in and gets into the van. Once she got into the van, I was like, well, you might as well just lay down. Like, you're in the van
on the
now.
chair.
I thought he was going to close the van, but he gets in with her and just, oh, you're a size 14, right? Whap, whap. And she's down for the count. He cuts off her blouse and throws it, and she's in the van now. It's done. She's his. Like, I'm getting this movie and The Cell mixed up, which, oh God, I'm so hope we don't have to review because it's scary. But you remember The Cell with Jennifer Lopez?
With Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, and the guy used to use his, it was like a Ted Bundy thing because he used his dog to lure women.
I don't really remember what happens, but I definitely have seen that movie.
It's scary as hell.
I don't believe you, but I do believe you. We go over to the coroner, checking out the body or checking out the head, but they have the body as well. Checking it out, and they find a cocoon in the throat of the head, and the body is toe up. It slashes, gashes everywhere. Another ass. Everything is slashed up on the body that's on the table. So, okay, girl, look, we found a bug. Let's go. Let's head down to the entomologist. So they go over to the entomologist, and segue really quick. Everybody is hitting on Clarice. And I'm not saying she's ugly, but she just looks like a regular ass woman. Maybe she is coming in contact with people who don't have regular contact with women, but they are trying to eat her up and chew her up and spit her out. Everybody wants a piece of that FBI ass.
This is young Jodie Foster, so she was pretty. However, let me just say this. That black girl who she was on the gorgeous. So that's why I was like, she must got a boyfriend. You said what?
She wasn't out investigating, so maybe that's why they didn't talk to her.
Because I'm like, that girl, I'm just saying, that's the one who, like, I would have been looking at, because I'm like, but I mean, I get.
Yeah,
like
I definitely agree with that. I just wanted to, like,
And she talks about it like they're saying sexist things to her and all this kind of stuff, and she doesn't like not say anything. Women's History Month and all.
Well, I mean, she backs it up. She takes it back to him. She definitely does that. But they discover that the bug was grown and is originally from Asia. So clearly, a bug guy is the killer. Another self-preserve entomologist of their own, and we see that the American girl that was kidnapped is Catherine, and Catherine is the daughter of a U.S. senator. So that's the only reason why people are concerned, because if she was anybody else, nobody would give a fuck. They just put her in the paper when they found her body. Yeah,
yes. Mind you, they find another body that belongs to a woman, and she has. They don't know it yet, but she has basically. Well, yes, they do. They know she has a diamond shape cut out of her back, and again, she's another large woman. She has a moth in her mouth as well. So it's all coming together. So they decide to tell Clarice to go to Hannibal and be like, "Hey, we got this deal from the senator. We gonna hook you up." This motherfucker at the damn prison. See, this is what I don't like. We should all be working towards the same goal. I didn't understand why that psychologist was being an asshole to everybody. Him trying to go, and then he goes. The one who works where Hannibal is being kept, because he goes and tells Hannibal, "Oh, that deal they gave you is lying. They lying to you. That ain't real." And I just thought, why would what purpose did you serve? A girl is in danger. I didn't understand his motivation, but Hannibal don't like him anyway. So he offers him a real deal. They fly him out. He goes to meet the senator, and again he gets very vulgar. She's talking about, "Hey, can you help me find my daughter?" He's talking about, did you breastfeed her? Are your titties sore? Just under duress. I understand why she was pissed, but I would have just laughed and been like, "Sir, what the fuck is your problem? Why are we talking about my nipples? Do you feel her? Do you feel her nipples when your daughter's on the slab?"
He hasn't met a black millennial gay. He wouldn't know what to say.
Exactly, but
read him down. He'd be read down.
Yes, because he's a reader, but it's just boy, stop playing with me.
He knows who he can intimidate, and he knows who he can make feel uncomfortable.
He also knows he's in control.
Correct. Even though he's the one tied up with a damn fucking face mask on and everything.
Because why?
He also said that he thinks that Buffalo Bill hates himself. That's why he thinks he's transsexual. That's not how that works.
It was very interesting because I was thinking about a lot of it, because I was, again, this is before. Obviously, they're using different terms. But I was like, because he says he went to get, gender reassignment surgery, and they kept rejecting him because he was too violent. But I couldn't tell, I couldn't tell if I couldn't tell who was telling the truth. Is he somebody who just wants this and can't get it? Or I couldn't tell. Or is he just an insane person who is just grappling on to something? I don't know. It was very interesting.
See, we need the Buffalo Bill story.
But all the damn sequels that came after this was only about Hannibal. That's why I'm like, I would really want
to. They definitely should have done a Buffalo Bill prequel.
Yeah, just to see,
and then ended it with him kidnapping Catherine, and that way we know the last little bits that happened.
Yeah,
I mean that's how most prequels are anyway.
Yeah, that's
what they do,
because he's a very interesting character. I just don't know.
Get it to his psyche. Come on, Ryan Murphy, it's your time, bitch. So we see him with Catherine, and this is my favorite part. He looks down some lotion for. It rubs the lotion or its skin, or else it gets the hose again. And Catherine's like, "Fuck you! Let me out of here!
It does what it's told. You don't know pain, bitch."
Put the fucking lotion in the basket.
Why are you upset? With his little dog.
What's the lotion for?
I'm guessing to keep the skin moisturized. I don't know, because
he doesn't want to get it dry, but because a lot of people don't use lotion on the regular, so
anyway,
so they might already be super dry back there.
Yeah,
that little bit of lotion ain't gonna help. He needs some Earl.
And I want to know what kind of lotion it was, because if it ain't Jergens,
it was probably Skin So Soft.
But my thing is, and this is just me being a germaphobe. You're gonna skin this woman. You're gonna skin this woman. How do you preserve the skin? Because his goal We're gonna find. Look,
Won't it change colors? Won't it?
That's
like,
what I'm
turn
saying.
brown?
It's gonna
Yeah.
decay. So how do you
Yeah.
preserve the skin? Because once you put this suit on, it's gonna be all moldy. And I mean, maybe the Egyptians used to put salt, but that would just dry it out, and that would just ruin.
The Egyptians said that the best thing you could do is die.
Yeah, cough. Fucker, cough.
Excuse me. Put the lotion back in the basket. Anywho, so we have all that happening with them, and Lecter lies to the senator and lets her know that Buffalo Bill's real name is Louis Friend or Louis Friend. I don't know who.
Basically, it's a anagram for fool's gold. So Clarice is the only one who put that together. That pissed me off.
Like everybody in the FBI need to be fired.
Because like if a trainee that just came in is the only person who knew that, absolutely not.
You got to go. You got to go.
Like defund. So I get her character was so interesting because she's like so smart, but then she has trauma, and that's a lot of the movie is him dissecting her trauma with her dad. Because she tells Hannibal this story about how she tried to save these lambs. She couldn't save the lambs. They killed the lambs, and she heard the lambs screaming when they were killing them. That's why it's called The Silence of the Lambs, because she can hear them screaming when she's sleeping. And he's like, "Do you think that catching Catherine's killer, the murderer, do you think that will silence the lambs?"
And she's like, "No, because we're talking about lambs and not Catherine."
Right.
And he's like, "Oh." So they move him. So he's now in Memphis. Hannibal Lecter is now in Memphis. And he is in
a box.
You know what? It didn't work for Magneto either. In a fucking cell in the middle of a room. We have got to stop doing that. Why was he not in a real jail in the shoe? He is in a room that has a curtain to cover him when he poops. Bitch, you in jail. You don't get no cover. It's a cement wall. It was made out of wood. How do you know he wouldn't fashion something from that? And guess what? He fashioned something from it. he makes a little pick that he's able to unlock handcuffs with. He's drawing pictures of Clarice in his room. Like, we know he's obsessed with him. And we know he's going to get out because these are some stupid, incompetent guards. They make him sit down on the ground while he handcuff his hands together while they're bringing in his food.
Lamb chops.
Two guards.
He gets his own
lamb chops because she says the story. Like, why are you? This is not last meal. You should be eating sludge. What are we doing? You should be eating what the kids ate in Matilda.
One thing before we get to this part, Clarice does go and see him. They rush her out very quickly. I thought it was very. Again, we're all on the same side. I didn't understand this part, but he does. She gives him the file on Buffalo Bill, and he makes notes in that file that helps her. Yeah. So, but now we're at the dumbest part in the movie, like the dumbest, because
he's unlocking the cuffs while the two of them are bringing one tray in the room. Why wasn't anybody standing behind to watch him? Like, both of you should not be in this cell at the same time. This is a one-person job. And why was there not like a little slit to put? Man, he should have had a fucking hamburger. We tossed the bitch through the cracks, through the jail bars. Like, why are we hamburger giving him through the bars? Force? I'm just saying he should just be eating sandwiches moving forward. Why are we?
He had a tray.
He could have had a pork chop sandwich. He didn't have to have lamb chop on a plate. That shit could have been between two pieces of Wonder Bread, and we could have called it a day. Mayo or mustard, bitch. Which one you want?
I think he has some asparagus as well. So
that could have been in a Ziploc bag too. Throw that bitch in there, just like that, and it go right between the jail bars.
So,
but again, like I said, it didn't work on Magneto either.
I hate you. So
he's
cop,
in a fucking UFC octagon. God,
he just bites his nose.
I thought he bit his tongue. Oh, maybe he did bite his nose.
And then he's on the ground, and then I think he just stabs the other guy. He's just dead as a door. He's just dead as maggots.
He beats him to death with a baton.
Thank you. I remember. Okay, that's because the spraying of the yeah. So he beats him to death with a baton, and then he just bites the other guy, and the guy is like barely alive. And then everyone can hear gunshots downstairs, and then everyone starts freaking out because the elevator goes to level 5, then go back to level 3, and they're like, "What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on?" They hear the gunshots, and everybody they're not acting Like they're alert, but they're not nearly as terrified as they should be.
No,
Like
and I refuse to believe that they didn't have camera systems in the police station. Again, which is why he should have been in a real jail instead of in a fucking octagon in the middle of a room.
yes. So they go up, they see the one guy dead, and then they see another the other guard, and he's like barely he's alive, he's barely alive, he's just like gurgling. It looked like he all slashed up, cut up, growed up. So they take him out. The ambulance takes him out, and they're like, "Oh, we get him out of here, get him out of here, get him out of here. We're gonna lose him." Then they, as they're on the elevator, they see blood from the ceiling, and like, "Oh, he's on top of the elevator." So they get there, and somebody comes from the top of the floor and looks down, and they see like a body there, and they shoot it, and it's like, "Oh shit, that person's not alive." So they think it's him, I guess. Baby, this part was hilarious. So as the ambulance,
I saw it from a mile away.
As the ambulance is taking the guy away, all of a sudden, if the body rises up, Hannibal done skinned this man's face off. He takes it off and killed everybody in the ambulance. And he killed a tourist just for some cash. Like, damn. How unlucky do you have to be be like, just damn. So Hannibal's free. He's gone. But nobody, like, of course there's high alert, but it seems like everybody more worried about Buffalo Bill at this point. It's like, oh, well, y'all shouldn't have did that. Oh, well. Nobody takes accountability for this at all.
No, they're like, well, you shouldn't have had him in a damn octagon, bitch. You should have had him in a real jail. We cut back to Clarice and friend. I'm sorry, I should have got that girl's name. The smartest woman in the movie, because she's the one that figures it out and helps Clarice to where she needs to be.
Hello.
They deduce that Buffalo Bill knew his first victim, Frederica Bimmel.
Oh, because because Hannibal told her we covet what we see every day, and so the black girl was like, "Oh, well, he know her."
Duh, bitch! Like, you should have put me on the case. I would have been done.
So they roll on down, baby.
They go to Ohio. That's where Frederica Bimmel is. They visit Frederica Bimmel's house, and
the victim they found.
Yes, and Clarice finds unfinished dresses and patterns that match the skin that was removed from the victims that Buffalo Bill killed. So she deduces, she's like, oh shit, he's trying to construct a suit from human flesh.
That's why they're large. He has to starve them to make them skin. Like, it was like boom, 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 boom. Here come the FBI.
At that time, Crawford was his name. That was her boss's name, Crawford.
Yes, Crawford is like, oh, we found out where he is. We about to go over there right now. She's like, oh, that's 400 miles from me. I'll be over there. He like, no, we got it. So what does she do? What she should have done.
No, he tells her to keep investigating down in that town, getting some more information. He tells her to stay.
Yeah, but she did what she should have done. She starts interviewing like the friends of the girl, which that friend that she worked with who was talking shit about her even after she's dead. I was like,
oh,
what is this? Yeah. So the police are outside of so back at the cat trap. What the hell was the dog's name? Precious. So Precious gets kidnapped by
with a chicken bone
by Catherine. So
Catherine would have got my fat dog too.
Really? With a chicken bone?
Yes.
So she's holding on to Precious, and she's like, I'll snap her neck. She broke her leg coming down here, which, ma'am, why you hurt that dog? I was like, Catherine was pissing me off. But yeah, she's like, I'll snap her neck. And so Buffalo Bill freaking out because he's like, get my fucking dog back. You don't know pain, bitch. I'll kill you. He go and grab his gun. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. They end up finding out.
That's the best part. Before he grabs her, he's dancing.
Oh shit! I literally said it earlier. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Do you want to fuck me?
Don't you want me? I'll put music in the background. Don't you want me?
Don't you want to fuck me so hard? I just didn't. And yeah, he's dancing with his wiener tucked into between his legs.
Not out.
Yes. Like Jay and Silent Bob. I hate them. But yeah, I mean, he's just leaning into who he is. Buffalo Bill. Again, I want a movie with
Yes, you know what? I didn't look that up. I feel like they had to have made something. If not, Ryan Murphy is doing it right now.
No, I'm telling you, because
what's the other guy's name? The other guy that does all those movies.
Mike Flanagan.
Kate's yes. Them. I'd rather he do it than
well, if Mike Flanagan does, it's going to be done well. If Ryan Murphy does,
I just said I'd rather he do it.
If Ryan Murphy does,
with Buffalo Bill being a transsexual, oh my god,
it's going to be a lot of hot men, naked, a lot of sex scenes.
Knowing because he's not going to want to stick with Bill wanting fat women. Hell no, he's going to change it to fat men. Watch.
Yeah. Make a race out of it.
He didn't get bigger women. Because I mean, he could have got one and been done.
He probably didn't want to wait that long.
600 pound.
Yeah, he probably didn't want to wait that long because then it might have been too big. I don't know his size 14.
Mike Flanagan, let's go.
I am so happy he's finally getting love on this podcast. Because you was about to say
Clarice goes to talk to Kate's husband. While the FBI is headed to Gum, they found out that the guy's last name was Gum. Jack. What's his name? That pissed me off.
Yeah,
I can't remember the first name.
Jamie. It was Jamie Gum, but it was Jack Gordon. That's how Clarice found him. Jack Gordon.
Yes. So she's headed over to interview acquaintances, and she gets to the house where Gum actually is, and he poses as somebody named Jack Gordon. During this time, they try to do like a little fake out. This might have been the first time they ever did this before, because me watching like, oh, I've seen this before. And I'm like, oh shit, Tiffany, this movie came out in 1992. Calm down. We see Clarice going up to a house. We see the cops going up to the house. We see Buffalo Bill yelling at Catherine down in the basement. He hears his doorbell ring. We see the cops pressing the doorbell. And when he goes to open the door, we think that the cops are going to be on the other side. They're going to arrest him. But actually, it's Clarice, because they're in two completely different locations. So they are at Gum's house, but it is a house that is vacant. He has not lived there. It's just empty. So the cops are like, shit. But the one other cop is like, oh, God, Clarice. You know, we got to go see what the fuck is going on. So Clarice goes into the house with him, and she sees a moth to a flame burned by the fire. She sees a moth flying around. And at that point, I would have been like, oh, shoot. I think I got the bubble guts. I'm going to come back a little later. I would not have stayed in that house is what I'm trying to say, because who knows who else was in there?
If you run this scenario, hell no. You would have just been like, ooh, I got the bubble guts. I would have been like, get the fuck out of my house, ma'am.
Exactly, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go. If I'm chasing somebody who breeds moths, and I see a moth flutter and land on your fucking butter dish, I'm out of there.
Because she did this so slow. She didn't even take her gun out until the very end. She's asking him for a number to call somebody. He give her the number, and that's when she's like, all right, freeze.
And he runs the hell off.
I don't know how he got away. I'm like, he turned around so slowly. Girl, if you don't shoot him in the leg, like.
He got secret compartments, secret hideaways.
Yeah, I'm like, shoot him in the leg. It's not like you didn't want to take him alive, clearly. So she goes and she go chasing him through the house. It looks so small, but it was apparently so big. I was like, damn.
The biggest house ever.
Like this underground X-Men control. Like, what kind of shit is this? Like a sub basement in a raggedy ass regular house.
It was like Stranger Things.
Yes, exactly like Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. So she just chases him. He's nowhere to be damn found. She does find Catherine. This is when, again, Catherine would have lost.
Hey, Catherine, I'm here to save you. Get me out of here! Get me out of here! Shush! I'm trying to save you. Be quiet. I'm gonna help you. Get me out of here! Get me out of here! I'm like, Catherine, baby,
I'm gonna leave the room. Don't you leave me, you fucking bitch! That's when. Now that you don't know me, Catherine. Oh, I'm a what, Catherine? Say it again. Because I'm up here and you're down there.
Let's give Catherine some grace. She ain't ate in a while.
Oh, yeah, he was starving her.
And she's stuck in this dirty, I know it stank down there.
Well, yeah, she saw that fucking finger, like when the girl tried to claw her way out. At least she tried. She tried more than Catherine did.
Yeah, but Buffalo Bill is smarter than all of them. He got some night vision goggles.
No, sir.
Where'd he get them from? Who knows? Who cares?
The Toys R Us.
Had Home Alone come out yet? I think it did.
Yeah, it was 1992. At least the first one had.
The Home Alone collection.
And that recorder. Yes.
Talk
yes.
boy.
I wanted one so badly. I think they're
I
still
don't
for
think they
sale.
work like that.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you can find one on eBay. 100% sure.
yeah.
But he's behind her, and
How did
she's
she find?
in,
Who was that corpse in the tub? Who was that? Oh, it was gross. And I know
another dead body with a body with no name. So she has her gun and she is like twirling around in circles trying to find him, trying to see if she sees him. She does not see him, and he is like putting his hand like by her face. You can feel that. You can feel your sensors are heightened. You can
stop
because I feel that. I can feel that. But he makes a fatal mistake. He cocks his gun and she just turns around and starts shooting. Yes. Yes, 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 and more yes. Because fuck what you heard. You know it ain't Catherine. She in the well. She can't get out. So whoever's there, just shoot. She should have just shot around in circles.
That's what I'm saying. She better than me
She
because I
should
would
have
have been
flicked
blowing
the
holes.
gun like in that stupid movie with Angelina Jolie.
Wanted. Curve the bullet. Curve the bullet. Now, how many people have died trying to do some bullshit like that?
I hate that movie.
Curve the bullet, Troy. I'll stand right here. Okay. Bam.
Oh, I hate that fucking movie so much. She shoots Buffalo Bill. He dead. He laying like this. He was in the middle of doing a Thriller dance when he died. He was we saved Catherine. Catherine takes the dog. She said, "Bitch, I'm leaving here with something." She takes Precious. I hope she took her right to the vet to get that broken leg. Her leg probably wasn't even broken. She probably was just lying.
Right, because ma'am, did you
hold the dog's snout together, or their mouth together? They're gonna start whining anyway because they use it to breathe, even though they had a nose. But that's why the dog was thing. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing the same. So Catherine is rescued. We see Clarice and friends graduate from the FBI Academy. Woo! One thing that really pissed me off is there was this big cake that they were cutting. That lady cut the biggest fucking slice out of that cake. It was a circular cake. She just cut a little triangle out in the corner and said, "Here you go." Where's the uniformity?
Want to piss me off? Do you want to piss me off? Cut a cake like that.
Like, you're fired. Who are you? You are not in charge of cutting the cake. Get out of here, Suzanne. So she graduates. During the celebration, she gets a phone call. And it is
Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
Have the lambs stop screaming, Clarice?
She don't
says,
try to.
I would
be like, "Hey, girl, what's up?"
Right. Let me keep you. Well, he told her before, you're not gonna stay on the line. You're not gonna have long enough to trace this call. And he tells her he's not gonna pursue her. And she needs to do the same. She's like, I can't do that. And he says, "Well, all right, bitch, do what you got to do. But I'm having an old friend for dinner." And he introduces her to DT, Dowtone. And we see that it is Chilton coming off and into the crowd and implying that he is his next victim. And I think he does get to him in the Hannibal movie.
Okay, good.
I think it's like a continuation.
He pissed me off. And that is Silence of the Lambs.
That is Silence of the Lambs. I'm going to give Silence of the Lambs a good old 4. I've watched it with no bathroom breaks. It's a very enjoyable movie. It is not something I need to revisit often. I did like it. And even though it was made over 30 years ago, which is crazy to say out loud, it was still on the up and up. Nobody really made stupid decisions except for the 2 cops that went into the octagon. But we needed them to die anyway. Like, what a look. The story was good. Hannibal Lecter was a very interesting, piercing character, and he was spooky ooky. I see why Anthony Hopkins won that Oscar, because he was frightening. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. I can't even do that. I can't. Ow.
Yes.
Oh.
The only thing he was missing was he should have just been gay, because the reads would have just been so much more better,
spectacular. The scenes were spectacular. It would have been great. But yes, I recommend this movie to anybody. Everybody should see this movie. I'm pretty sure most people have seen it. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, our young people out there. If we have some young
Yeah.
viewers, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you going to watch this.
You have to study it in film class.
Sit back and enjoy it. You're in for a wild ride. What about you?
I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. It was, like I said, it didn't even feel like I was sitting there for 2 hours. It was going. Though there was a lot of dialogue, it was important dialogue, and it was just interesting. I think the psychology of it made it interesting because it's like, damn, I really want to understand this guy too. I just wish they focused. I mean, I wish they focused more on Buffalo Bill because, like, I do want his story. It was just very interesting.
Yes. Like, I feel like this could have been a 2-part movie. Like, it could have been Silence of the Lamb Volume 1 and 2, like Kill Bill.
Yeah. So no.
Quentin Tarantino, give us the Buffalo Bill story.
He's only making one more, and we need Kill Bill 3.
No. One more original.
Oh,
maybe it's just one more original. Because he could easily write. He doesn't have to do a full movie. He could write. But what's his next movie called?
I don't know. I wanted it to be Kill Bill 3. That's what everybody wants, but I don't think it is.
I don't want that. It ended how it needed to. I don't want Vernita Green's daughter. I don't want that.
But no, it's a masterclass. Like, it's just that, like, there's nobody like that Hannibal Lecter character. I haven't seen Hannibal because I'm scared of him, and I haven't seen Red Dragon, or it's something else. It was another one. They made like
there was a TV series.
They made a sequel and 2 prequels, but I don't.
But none of them had Buffalo Bill.
No, it was all Hannibal stuff. Like, he was the breakout star. So yeah, I mean, it was good. It went by quickly. I just it can make you uncomfortable. So do I would I rewatch it again? Maybe with someone, but it's not something that I would rewatch multiple times just because there's just a lot of violence in, situations with women. I'll just be like,
I think because it's not a comedy, because it's not slapstick, it's super serious. That's why we don't revisit it. We revisit a lot of bullshit, a lot of funny movies. But yes, like you said, to introduce somebody to it, yes, I would watch it again, let them know, hey, this is a really good movie. You should definitely watch it. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, all right, guys, that will do it for The Silence of the Lambs. We want to give a special shout out to Michael, who requested that we review this movie. We really hope that you enjoyed our review of it. Thanks for bringing this Oscar award-winning film to the Booshakalaka podcast, because we desperately needed one.
Thank you, Michael.
And thanks, Michael, again. And next week we will be reviewing Blackula, so please be sure to join us then. Black vampires, we're on a rise, especially with Michael B. Jordan's movie coming out next month.
Woo!
Black vampires, we might add that one in. We'll see. But all right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Where did you hide it, Dan?